So today we are taking another look at goalkeepers. We have gone through the list, I want to say the first week into the game, and everything has been updated. Keepers, to be honest, have managed to stay relatively same, and I'm seeing the same names as we do go through. I believe in the last list we didn't include icons because at that point they were like 1,000,000 coins each, even though right now they are still sitting at a pretty penny. You're looking at Yashin at 450, Buffon at 500, Khan and Casillas at the same. We've obviously got Schmeichel at 260, and then if you go a bit further down, 250 and 320 for Cech and Van der Sar. Now I believe Van der Sar, Cech, Schmeichel obviously was in an SBC, but him as well, and that's it, are all available in the Max 89 Icon SBC, whereas the more expensive ones, the 90, the 91, the 92, are all unfortunately not available at this moment in time. There is also the conversation to have about Khan. He is going to be due the upgrade, I believe, this week. So there's not really any point putting in his 86 at this point, or 86, because naturally that one is going to be completely obsolete by the time the masses look at the video. So when we do look at Khan and himself and think, okay, is this 91 capable of being in the team anymore? When you do look at him from his 86, he's been fantastic. He did have the rush out and far reach. The only thing I'm interested in, and I don't know because I haven't got him yet and we haven't upgraded, do we get more playstyles than that? I'm assuming we do. I'm assuming we keep out the rush out. I'm assuming that, but naturally we will have to wait and see. So we are taking it very leniently with a lot of these upgraded debut icons. And allegedly, I've not seen anything more, they are going to be in packs during Thunderstruck. I don't know if that is fully confirmed, but that has been leaked somewhere that I've seen. So I will be interested to see. Now, when it comes to Khan, phenomenal keeper. He's going to go pretty much to the same upgrade as this one. As you'll see at the moment, whether the stats are actually real or not, we don't know until the game's out. But if he does stay at this sort of level, it is going to be an easy shout for him. I think him and also his counterpart in his gold are going to be well worth it. I think most of the icon keepers at this point of the game are fantastic still. I don't think there's really many arguments you could have that icon keepers are not some of the best. Now, when it does come to any of the female keepers, unfortunately, height is just a massive factor on my behalf. So it doesn't really work. And that kind of does show with the fact that the second or joint highest rated keeper in the game is only 143k rather than the 450 that Yashin is at that same rating. It kind of gives you a big giveaway there. Obviously she's got the far reach as well. Playstyle plus wise we'll kind of get into, but I do think unfortunately for them, her and Endler I have to throw in because of the actual nature of their level. But in general, they're just not going to be tall. Campos is exactly the same. I don't, at 5 foot, I think he's 5'8". It doesn't work. As a keeper goes, we saw the same with many of the keepers that have gone from outfield positions in net. Unless they are like 6 foot and above, it just unfortunately doesn't work out in net for them. Now, Playstyle Pluses, another absolutely massive one. If we do look at most of the Playstyle Pluses, we go into here and we have a look at them from this sign. So playstyle pluses for other keepers. So see all, we want all FC playstyles. So in terms of goalkeepers, we do have a few that are working. The interesting part will be more when we get the double playstyle plus, or I believe it's the triple. Do we actually get a double playstyle plus for a keeper now? Or is it going to be a rush out plus and a long ball pass again? Is it going to be that? Or have they managed to fix it that we get a rush out and far throw, or deflector and far reach? That could be a very nice combination to see. But personally for me, rush out is kind of a number one there. I do think far reach is another one. I think them two for the general masses are going to be two of the best ones. I've not been too deterred from Deflector. Donnarumma has worked that very, very well in my opinion. So if you're looking for coins, head over to Eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by Trade Shield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. back to the video. But I can kind of see people staying towards the rush out, the far reach. Rush out is just one of my favorites, just purely on that through ball, gets out so much quicker and it works. Cross claimer, another fantastic one, and then I'd go footwork and kind of your far throw. I think footwork actually could potentially be pretty decent as well. I'd possibly go rush out, far reach, deflector, and footwork. They're all very close. Cross claimer, then far throw. I think the far throw is kind of just one of them that if he has it, it's fair enough, but I'm not necessarily looking for it as such. So that would kind of be where I would look at in terms of playstyle pluses for goalkeepers. Again, leave a comment down below what you personally go with. And then we've kind of got the masses. So when it comes to the icons, like I say, most of them are in that top category. They are some of the best keepers in the game for a reason. And until we get into like team of the year level keepers, they aren't really going to be taken off their pedestal. Even when Campos managed to get an upgrade, they changed him to a striker. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, it just is what it is. And keepers are very standard this year. We will easily say Buffon, Casillas, Cech, all of them are going to go up into that category. I don't think any icon keeper is disappointing this year. I think they all come in with their own tactics, their own stuff. So, for instance, you've obviously got, cross claimer for Buffon. You've got far reach for Yashin. Far reach for Buffon and Khan. You've then got footwork for Casillas, works well. Far throw for Schmeichel. It's the only thing that lets him down, but I do know he is a very good keeper in general. We've kind of used him from his SBC. And then obviously my personal favourite is going to be Van der Sar. Always is every year. And we've even got Deflector on Cech, which does work really well, like I say, with Donnarumma. So I could only assume that the Deflector Plus does work amongst the top end sort of keepers. Now, if we are looking at kind of the more bottom tier, or at least the kind of standard tier, you kind of going down and looking more towards like your Szczesny's now, even Sommer. And to be honest, when you look at most of them, they're all pretty decent still. Like, I do think when you do go to the grit and bones of it, is it Chevalier, or PSG keeper, I'm going to butcher his name anyway, a solid keeper. Like he's one that I did miss off last time, and it was purely because I've not seen him. And since literally that day, I saw him so much in foot champs teams, PSG teams, rivals. He was absolutely everywhere, and he is absolutely fantastic. And he's again reminds me very much of like a Pope sort of keeper, where not necessarily the highest rating, but he is an absolute dog when it comes to in net. Now, do I compare him to the icons? I think that would be overstretching it a little bit. But I will say for the price that you're paying at 1.8k, you can absolutely get away with him. He's a great link for all of the PSG lads. He's going to be a solid keeper in the net anyway. He's possibly the best Ligue 1 keeper now. Now, obviously, Donnarumma has left. So he's an easy yes for me. I don't think there's any question. I think, personally, my personal favourite keepers, Donnarumma has got to go up in there. I think Alisson is another one. And I think Courtois is definitely up there. Possibly taking the lead. And it might be nostalgic, but I've seen him kind of with other people as well. I really do like the Pope. He has been a brilliant keeper. So there is arguments that, yes, that might be just a nostalgic throw more than anything. But I will say, from what I've seen in the very limited time that he has been out, he has been fantastic with it. So I can't really argue with it. I would say I'd be looking at like your Szczesny's and like Hradecky. I don't know if I'd quite go B. I think I'd go A more than anything, because when you're looking at like your Raya, you're looking at like Manyan, I'd possibly go with them as an easy S. Like, they're not bad keepers. They're going to be keepers that can work it easily. A Serie A keeper, obviously La Liga has got Courtois, but Serie A has got Manyan. We obviously see then MLS throwing in with a bit of Lloris. It was kind of standard more than anything. I really think he should have had a playstyle plus. I think that would have really taken him to that next level. And I think that's kind of the only thing now that really stops anybody is getting a playstyle plus and being able to utilize it. Even someone like Mamadashvili, beautiful keeper, saves a lot, but the playstyle plus is what really takes that keeper to that next level. I think Martinez would be the same. Even ter Stegen, he started off the game very, very well, and the problem now is when you do look at like a 6.6k keeper, and then you look at like a ter Stegen now, you've got a playstyle plus, a ter Stegen now, you look at a Courtois now, who is literally like, he's within the same ballpark, like 20k more. You get the cross claimer plus, it's an extra balance for it. There's not necessarily too much in it in terms of a keeper standpoint, but when it comes down to it, the Playstyle Plus is going to have that big effect. Same with the Pickford, and that's where kind of like your Dudek and your Howard come in my opinion. And the same for someone like a De Gea. If you're going to compare him to a kind of Mignan now, he needs that Playstyle Plus to really give himself at least a running shot at this. It's why it's 3.6k. The only thing that you could potentially add to this is if I go for like someone like Lamans, if I get his name right. If you do look now in terms of a keeper playstyle plus, there was the ability to get them all the way up to an 84 if you go to the evolution builder, and I think that would kind of put them around this sort of level, like the A sort of tier, maybe just a bit under depending on your overall, but it puts them up there. The next step will be a Playstyle Plus. As soon as they get that, that's going to be the interesting part for goalkeepers. We look at it from this one. The Phantom Dash obviously gets the rush out playstyle. We also have then the keeper of the goal. That again gave him a solid run out. Stats wise, going to be under a few of these obviously, but naturally it's going to be one that starts them in the right direction, where we've not had keeper evolution. So it is a total different ballpark once we get into a very good evolution for them. And especially when it starts adding playstyle pluses, you'll be seeing keepers that maybe didn't have a shot, because realistically, if you look at Le Mans, is he going to get an upgrade at any point? We know how difficult it is for keepers to get an inform, a special card. Like we've managed to get quite a few actually. When you look at a Donnarumma getting into the captain, same as Herodecki, a flashback or end of era moments for Lloris, Pickford with a cornerstone, Pope with a moments. It's already starting very well, and hopefully it does continue. We then see the likes of Oblak, I think Kobel, great with a rush out. Obviously, you've got Summer with his playstyle plus. I'd say ter Stegen probably drops it down a little bit more, and I'd probably go something like that realistically. I think I'd probably have to delete that row, and that would kind of be it, because keepers are what you make them. You can happily go with Lloris and be more than fine. He'll let in, more than likely, most stuff that other keepers do. A lot of people are just passing round. Low drivens are just unsavable if you have Buffon or not. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it always makes the difference when you come up against shots that are not prone to meta breaking. The low driven from Pinner, a finesse shot that's calculated to the absolute max, a pass round the goalkeeper. They're kind of the things that obviously you can't save, but it is that random one-off volley that you can get where a deflector is possibly needed, a rush out if the ball's over the top. They are the differences in goalkeepers and how you use them that might make a goalkeeper slightly better than the other. But let me know down below what you think about them. Who is your top goalkeeper? Or give me your top three. What are the ones that you're using? We've got the gauntlet, so three are going to be needed at some point. At the minute, it's Donnarumma, Courtois, and Alisson for me. Who's it for you?